Middle there.
Well, it's good. 12.
I do have hope.
I am exhausted, by the way.
Where'd Burko? Is Burko here?
18.
Burko!
Exhausted comes with a lot of negatives, by the way.
Yes.
We're gonna get.
All right. Everybody has to roll worse than Cornelius and slightly worse than me. Just slightly.
You have to beat a 12 at this point in time.
Or tie at 12.
Oh, are we rolling exhausted rules here? Is that what I?
Ooh, is that true?
Ooh. No,
Okay.
I'm not that evil.
I
like it. That was the exhausted person asking the question. So
The person.
Oh no, technically
he's not
not, 'cause
exhausted
y'all are
anymore.
done.
Oh yeah, we had a long rest.
We did long rest.
rest.
You didn't
Yeah, all
stay
my
up for the
spells
long
back,
rest
I
this
forgot.
time, I guess.
Got a long rest. I gotta take the exhaustion off. Yeah, I mentioned it.
I think
You guys hear me?
I think you did.
Am I
Hey, there
doing
you
Yes,
go.
there you are.
You
Is
are now
someone
being
talking?
heard.
Is someone talking?
Yes.
All
Thank
right.
you, Broadus. Well done.
Oh, I couldn't hear Broadus, but he rolled. Just kidding, man. I could hear you.
Yeah, I didn't see what everybody else rolled before me.
12 and 18. Right now, you are the number to beat.
Mm.
The
You
hot
can do it.
7.
Steve can do it.
Steve it is.
Steve can do it.
What's the
Now, in order to drop a 1 or a deuce, a
Ye-
P or a poop, and then Steve is off the hook.
We'll see what he can manage here.
Who?
You.
I don't have to
Okay.
roll. I'm exempt. I did the
Oh,
last
that's
recap.
True.
Oh, yeah.
So you guys
Steve,
can
it's
fuck
true.
off.
True.
True.
He is exempt.
He is exempt from the
Immunity.
previous one.
Immunity.
Mr.
I'm taking my
Steve.
immunity and I am rolling with it.
As you should. My apologies.
Roll anyway.
Diplomatic
Now, let's see
Yeah,
where you
prove
wind up.
to
Let's
us
see where
that
you wind
you
up.
earned you deserved
Burn your 1.
Oof.
It's an 8.
Safe.
It's an 8.
There you
We'll bet
go.
him anyway.
Right. To beat him anyways. All right, Steve. Please recap.
Did Steve go grab a sandwich?
You're on mute.
Or...
Oh, sorry. So we played last week. Everyone knows what happened.
Oh, yeah, that's a recap.
That's
Found
a
out
great
that
recap.
the what was his name? Boromir, but I don't remember the dude's name. But he's Glitz now. He is now Glitz the Golden Dragon from now on.
Dude, I'll do the recap so I can be
He
immune
wants
next week.
us to come out and get connected with our dear Belmont. Yeah, Belmont. I should know that. It's in Chicago, famous street in Chicago. Wow. Sorry, my thing auto-corrected Gomer to Homer. So, yeah, we found out that Belmont is now a golden dragon, which makes us remember what, like, definitely gives us more clue as to why, Giselda.
This
my
is
name-
going bad for you,
This
man.
is terrible.
Katana.
Can he? If he has
There
such a
you
bad
go.
recap, can he have
Hey.
to do the one next week too?
No.
That should
That's not how it
happen.
works. A bad recap doesn't make for another bad recap.
I'd say
should.
you fail, you're back in the mix at least. So.
I am not failing.
You kind
I
of
have
are.
written notes. So we have to go pick up these magical hops from Pumont, and Belmont is going to give us 500 gold. Not a piece, like 500 gold split amongst the party, right? That's what I got from that.
I'm not
part.
correcting you.
I
This is your
not
recap,
as-
bud.
Yeah, it's
think there
everyone's
was
recap at this point.
I come
200
back.
maybe.
I come back later, and I correct later on.
Excellent.
So we are off to Phandalin to parley with Pumont. After getting a wonderful amount of long rest and coming back from the dregs of the mountain, beating the hag, we had to follow our Broadus out somewhere. He kind of went off in his own little direction and then came on back. Steve and Cornelius had a a conversation on the side and talk about some of their backstories and stuff, which was good. And that's where we're off to. We're off to meet a man named Pumat. None of us have he's a stranger to us, which is interesting, and he sounds like a interesting character to get some magical hops for Belmont's stuff. It's going to be an adventure, and we're in Belmont's good graces as we're in the circle of trust for it because now we know he is a golden dragon, and yeah, that's where we're off to.
Yeah. So it was 200 gold each for you, by the way.
Okay. Well, the
No,
500 we get to buy the hops. And then
should have
two
just
gold
left
to
it.
No, the 500 gold was to purchase
Yeah.
the sending
All 500
earpieces, where he would be able to have a conversation with Jitana, and he knows that Pumat creates these things, so he can make these for him. So he sent you off with 500 gold, but also said, "Hey, I need you to go get some hops while you're there," and that would be 200 gold a pop per person for doing that for him,
Gotcha.
and obviously bringing the earpieces back to him. So, he sent you on your way, and you're headed towards Phandalin. You had a first night's rest, and some nothing really happened. You heard some weird things out in the distance, but nothing really came of them. That was the only thing that happened overnight, and you awoke, and you are ready to start your day. That's pretty much where I'd go from there. Belmont did become Glitz. You saw him.
There's a
transform.
dragon. There's this little gold dragon.
Giant
thing
gold
as
dragon.
well.
Yep. Big gold dragon. He is and he's excited to expand his start brewing some new shit, some crazy new shit. He's excited about it. So these magical hops, let's go get them for him. That's the plan right now. All right. So, random group that doesn't have a name, what are you going to do? The morning has come. The day is early and young. You awaken.
Well, first things first, I gotta get a beer.
You have beer?
I mean,
I think
we're still on the house, right?
already-
I mean, we're
in the
like
middle,
in
we're
the.
on the road.
In the
Nope.
woods.
No,
You
were on the-
we're-
you were on
yeah,
the
but
road.
you're on the road.
Idiot.
All right. Hold on.
Jesus,
must be
it was
brothers.
a week
Yeah.
ago.
Oh my
Lloyd
God.
wakes up very
The
confused. Okay.
recap.
We need to figure out a way
He's
to
drunk the
master
whole
mute
trip to
someone
this
who's doing
point.
something dumb.
So-
How do we do that?
All right. Well, we've.
If your
we
last
passed-
name is Sutton, you're doing the recaps for the next
Whatever.
fucking 5 sessions.
All right. So we wait. Did we hear some shit last night? We did hear some shit last night, though.
I literally said that you heard some weird shit, but nothing came of it. So that was
All right, we're gonna
literally
go
a minute and a half ago.
We can go check that, right?
Max.
If you want to.
We're all performing so well today.
I remember
Whatever.
what we heard
It's-
was a
Jesus,
They're
it's
so
been a
fucking-
week, guys.
water
It's
blubbering,
been a week.
blubbling, like burp, gurgling, like
Yeah,
water.
I believe
The boat, the
I
bro-
mentioned it was kind of like it sounded like a ripple in a lake, like a stone hitting a lake, and just like the ripple that would come out of that.
Mm.
And
No,
you
we don't
heard
need to
it
worry about
a
that.
number of times.
Well, do you guys want to go explore the direction of which I heard some shit last night? And
I mean,
see what it is, or do we just want to hit the road? I don't care. Both are good.
Gold is king. I say we just mission.
Go.
Actually,
Yeah.
we don't get off task. We keep
We
on.
might find some, like, tiny, owlbears that you can murder. Something.
That seems very historically inaccurate, if I remember
Whatever.
correctly. So you can fuck off, and we're gonna go the other direction.
Baby
very,
owlbear.
very historically inaccurate.
God, we are
Oh,
so
shit.
clicking. This is awesome.
This is good. This is good. All right.
All
So
right.
you hitting the road? You hitting the road?
Yeah, we're hitting
Correct.
the road.
All right, hitting the road. Phandalin is actually a pretty quick jaunt from where you stayed. Takes a couple hours, but you arrive there soon enough. About the noonday sun comes up. You notice a small, as you start to crest a hill, you begin to notice a couple of houses in the distance along the horizon, and some various wooden fences, some pretty rough looking wooden fences that were put up years ago, type of a thing, with various types of things like wheat and such. Like you're coming up on a farming community. Upon walking to the village, you pass down a road surrounded by these like I said, wheat, corn, things like that. In the distance, you see in the wheat field various figures. You see wheat flying into the air as it's getting cut. However, as you get closer, you notice that the one individual you were spying, you thought was harvesting wheat with a scythe, was actually not there, but there is actually a scythe swinging, and what appears to be a bag moving itself in position to collect the wheat as it falls to the ground. It seems like the cornfields themselves seem to be getting detasseled by the very scarecrows that are meant to keep those birds at bay.
Well, it did say magic barley, right? Or is that what we're going for? Magic hops?
Definitely hops. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some weird shit going on here that's probably magic, right? So.
Can we make a note that he remembered something?
Noted.
Man, I just got a
Appreciate
point.
that.
Yes.
They don't happen all that often anymore because it's 2024, but that's a Kodak moment, I think.
Mm.
I see what you did there.
I know, right? Yeah, you might not be able to put that on YouTube since we're not sponsored by them. I'm not sure.
Kodiak moment.
You're gonna get
We can talk about different products and things.
Demonetized.
Technically, I'm gonna get demonetized
gonna lose
from like
his
the
full
3 fucking
revenue.
views I have. Great.
12 views.
Great.
Not even.
I have like 5
No.
followers, and I think it's all of you.
It is I'm absolutely one of them. I'm 20%. So, as you keep going, you notice this. You pass another farm. It might be the same farm, but another patch of wheat. And you see someone else actually, kind of moving very quickly, and you kind of look closer and make sure your eyes aren't playing tricks on you again. But you actually do see a person slicing through the wheat about 50 yards out, but they are moving incredibly fast, almost inhumanly fast.
What does this person look like? Can you tell?
He's moving very, very quick.
Like,
If you could do a
towards
perception
us?
check for me, that would be
Or
legit.
are we all watching this, or what are we doing?
Yeah. If one person points it out, y'all can stop and check it out.
I mean, is it coming towards us or going away from us, I guess?
No, he's not going anywhere. He's moving down the field, not as though he's any sort of threat to you. He looks like with that perception roll, he looks like he's giving off a slight pink glow. That's very odd considering it's the middle of the day and the sun is at its peak right now. But you still see a slight pink aura around him. Yeah.
Yeah. Seeing all this magic stuff is just really charging up Cornelius and can't help himself. He's going to start heading over to that pink glow person.
Awesome.
I guess I'll follow.
Radas feels inspired to follow behind Cornelius.
Gonna keep a low profile though.
Awesome.
At least
So
I
you're
am,
you're moving through the wheat fields, and Cornelius, you're a little tough to see over. You kind of see the glow of pink in the distance, but the other folks are following you behind. You're able to duck underneath the tattered wooden fence yourself pretty easily, but are moving yourself through the wheat, kind of bending it down in front of you, reaching out in front of you as you go towards this individual, and you all. Everyone who's taller than Cornelius begins to see this, but you see what looks like a human male, about 5'9" or so, But as you get closer, you notice that his arms are absolutely huge. And you notice that there are pink sigils that just hover over his shoulders and elbows. You get closer and closer, and you recognize that these arms do not appear human. They appear automatonic, for lack of a better term. As you approach him.
Are they attached to him then?
They appear so. They do appear so.
And it is a human.
Yep, humanoid male, about 5'9". Human male, sorry, not just humanoid, but human.
Has he noticed us, our presence yet as we approach?
He does not appear to recognize you. He is just quickly mowing down the wheat.
And Cornelius just watches for a little bit to see if he recognizes anything from the sigils or the automatonics compared to, like, you know, the room that we were in with Belmont.
With who?
With what was his name? Wasn't it
What?
the bad guy?
Oh, the necromancer?
Yeah.
Got you. Oh my god, why am I blanking on his name? I've had a lot of liquor today.
You mean Tiresome Bellovar?
Tiresome Bellovar, not Belmont. Bellovar.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah,
Comes
that
in
one.
clutch. You saved yourself on that one. This dude, big coming in clutch.
Three.
Go ahead and make an Arcana check.
Can we make a group Arcana check? Because I mean, like,
Mine wouldn't be able to help. Ooh, that's pretty good.
So you do know with the roll of a 19, that's pretty solid. So you recognize the sigils. They do appear to be a school of transmutation, but you also happen to see hints of abjuration amongst them as well. And with the roll of 19, I will add that these you get hints of what you saw in that tomb.
Okay. All right. And we did find out, just to be like it was Grail the Tinkerer, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Yep. So you approach him, and he is again swinging the scythe wildly. Wildly is the wrong word. It is incredibly fast. Faster than any normal human with normal arms could go, but it is not haphazard whatsoever. Like, he is mowing this wheat field down, and there is just this floating bag that just happens to be like dashing ever so quickly and collecting all the wheat before it hits the ground. A pretty impressive thing to watch. The other one happened to have nobody on it. This guy is absolutely motoring along by himself.
Got it. Okay.
No.
Yeah, seeing that it is, they're like recognizing it from, the Tinkerer that we were learning about. Not going to approach him. Just going to let him do his work, and going to start heading back to the,
it was like a house,
the path of the road. Yeah.
Cornelius starts to head back. Everybody else heading back too?
I guess so.
Yerp.
Do they see like a farmhouse or some sort of buildings or anything yet, or is it just a field that we're in?
You do see those buildings. They are getting closer and closer as you approach them. It's pretty standard farmhouses. You're approaching a small town, what feels like a small town on a dirt road. So yeah, you do start to see more and more buildings. This individual's what you believe to be his home is off by itself. As you continue down that path, you start seeing signs for Phandalin, and you start seeing more and more houses as you go.
And then, I guess I'll just make a note of where his house would be.
For sure.
And then, do we see any other, pink hues from any other fields?
Not what you can see, no. That seems to be the main farm where that is happening. As I mentioned, there are some like moving scarecrows, more or less detasseling corn in the field adjacent to what you were walking down the main road. But you don't see any other humanoids, tending to that field.
Okay.
Yeah, you do. You do happen to see on a large post as you're entering, or you're heading into the town through the main road, a rather garishly colored, multicolored poster tacked to a fence post. There is a rather boisterously dressed humanoid individual, blue face, darker blue nose, very very cow-like in appearance, but they're in a dark purple dress jacket with an equally garish purple top hat that has a interesting contrast to the light blue skin that he has, and he has a very awkward looking smile on his face. But the words on the sign say, "Come visit Pumat's Emporium of Enchantments and Eccentricities. We make your kind of mundane our kind of magical."
So good. I
Did we
think that's where
see
we need to
any-
go, guys.
Hey, did we see any hops
probably.
fields as well on our walk in?
I mean, that's
Any
where
what?
hops come from.
Any fields of hops? We saw the wheat, but did we notice any fields of hops that were also ready for harvest, etc.?
Did not notice any fields of hops. No.
Okay.
Just
Hops don't grow on fields.
They don't go in fields, so what
No,
would you
they grow
call
on
them?
trellises.
And it wouldn't be a field.
Mm-mm.
Trellis.
Of
Like,
trellises?
They grow on a
Trellises.
vine.
I know
No.
that, but they don't grow out of the ground.
They grow out of the air?
Yes.
No, they're not. They grow. They grow in
Yeah.
fields.
Yeah.
You said they don't grow out of the ground. I'm confused.
They do grow out of the ground.
They do
You
grow
just
out
said
of
they
the
They're
ground,
in
but they're
fields.
as you approach
Grow-
the town,
Right.
It's stupid.
Thank you.
as you enter the town,
Mhm.
you do begin to notice some of these other kind of sigils. You're walking into town. You're walking into, down a main road, as main of a road as this small town could have. But you do start to see more of these glowing sigils around various items around the site. You see some like rakes or knapsacks, stoves, things like that. And you do see a couple of other people with sigils over their body parts as well. A leg, here or there, another arm, something like that. But yeah, you do see some things that catch your attention for the arcane. Absolutely.
What a lovely little town.
Well, I guess we're
And-
gonna go in, right? I mean, this is the place, Pumat's.
It is. And as you look around, trying to locate, Pumat's Emporium of Enchantments and Eccentricities, there's a lot of brown and tan buildings as you approach, but you come to exactly what you expected to come to after seeing that poster. It is literally a large green and purple, rainbow type building shaped like a curved top hat in the middle of this weird farming community. It just stands out like the sorest of sore thumbs. So yeah, that you're pretty certain that's probably where you need to go. There's a sign with enchanted flashing orbs of light that surround the words of Pumat's Emporium of Enchantments and Eccentricities, and the entranceway to the inside of the hat is open. No door in sight.
Anybody like gumming and growling, or is there like busy people around like in front of it, or is it just kind of there?
It's kind of just there. The people that you've seen are just living their lives, pretty much. It is a lazy small farming community. Not too much happening around the Magic Hat building. But I mean, it's about as exciting as it could be in a small farming town. But not many people coming in and out of the place now.
Well, guess we'll go in.
Yeah, might
Let's
as
see,
well.
Valdor, you good? You going
Yeah,
in?
yeah, let's go in.
Let's do it.
All right. So you walk in, and as you walk through what you surmise is the entranceway, it's just a large opening in the front of this hat. Your eyes somewhat, it feels like they deceive you a bit, because as you walk inside, it appears to be much larger on the inside than it is on the outside. So it appears to be as large as like a cafeteria or a dance hall inside of the building. However, it is much larger inside than it is on the outside. As you walk in, a similar theme, colorful theme, appears and hits your eyes, and it's actually somewhat accosting to your senses. It's a bunch of purples and greens and pinks and blues that you just see throughout the shop, just incredibly garish and in a trying to be whimsical sense that just assault the senses. As you walk in, you notice on the side of one of the walls to your left, you see a series of basic items just stacked on shelves, just kind of like one on a shelf, and then the same thing above it, and maybe a couple other things above it. You might see a knapsack or a rake or something like that. And the same thing kind of stacks up above it, a bunch of different mundane items, and then as though they're enchanted in some way, they're kind of spinning as your eyes are directed across the ceiling. The ceiling itself is painted as though it's a stone cave wall. And then as you come to the center of the ceiling, there's like this enormous green fired furnace in the middle. And these items are floating and spinning as they pass the front of this fire. This painting of fire. And as your eyes track from left to right, these standard basic items are replaced by much more enticing looking items, much more interesting looking items than just a standard rake or a knapsack or tent or anything like that. Until you get to the right side of the wall, and then the same layout of the left is on the right, but they all appear to be much more special items, fanciful looking items that line the shelves on the right wall. It's quite a sight to see as you walk in.
It's amazing.
This dude's got a lot of stuff. Could be a good guy to get to know, I guess, huh?
It's all of the right stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, he seems like this is cool stuff.
You look.
Do we see anybody around?
Do you see anybody? Like,
It is
hello?
pretty well empty.
Hello?
It is a large shop, pretty well empty. In the back of the room, you do see one large bovine-esque individual sitting at a small table. He's blue fur, has a feathered hat adorning his head, and they are buried. Their face is buried in a ledger of some sort, a very large book.
Lawless is pretty sure that he can't afford anything in here with his 6 gold pieces. Just interested.
Hello?
I'm poor.
Anyone here?
I mean, I could go for something good here, maybe.
You're like in awe of all the things on the wall, but kind of, checking it all out as I'm walking towards that person sitting down.
Okay. You walk through, and it is again a relatively open space. It is meant to be a space of like just awe, and you feel kind of put off your guard a little bit by it, because you're walking under all of these these items that are just floating and spinning as if obviously they're magically hanging in the air, but they could fall at any point in time. You're walking under scythes and pitchforks and things like that. You're like, oh god, this is. I don't think anybody really planned this out very well. You can tell that it's a basic enchantment that these things are on, so they're gonna be hanging up there. But you kind of look back, you kind of see a couple of your friends be like, dude, I'm gonna sprint past these things a little bit. Like it in concept it works. In reality, it's kind of terrifying. So you walk back there and see this Furbolg individual, and he is strictly looking down in his ledger and does not notice anybody coming up.
Hello?
Oh. Huh?
Hi.
Oh.
Hi.
Oh, hello there, traveler, and welcome to Pumat's Emporium of Enchantments and Eccentricities. Please feel free to peruse the wares and let me know if you have any questions. This he doesn't look up from his book after initially making eye contact with you. He just returns back to his ledger and starts writing in his book.
I'm like a robot.
Are you Puma?
He looks back up from his ledger. Oh, I am. I'm not Pumat. Well, I am Pumat, but just not the Pumat from the signs. I am assuming that you are referencing. But I am a Pumat. Let me get him. And he, walks off. He says that quite flatly and walks off.
I just look back at the group and shrug.
He gets up and walks behind a curtain, behind a large, kind of like a large desk type area where you may be able to. It seems like pay for things like that. A little bit of a checkout area. So you're waiting for a little bit, but shortly after you see the same Furbolg emerge from the curtain, but this time they're decked out in a full purple suit, purple top hat on his head, big smile on his face. His arms are raised in the air in a way to welcome you guys. Welcome, friends, to Pumat's Emporium of Enchantments and Eccentricities, where your kind of mundane becomes our kind of magical. My name is Pumat Sol, and this fine gentleman is Pumat Sol. And the Furbolg you initially met walks out from behind the curtain, again, just kind of like blankly staring ahead, and just strolls back over to his bench and gives kind of a half-hearted wave as he passes by.
Nice to meet you.
You guys are twins.
Well, in
Brothers?
a sense, yes, we are actually the owners of this fine establishment, and we again give you the warmest of welcomes here. Now, I haven't seen you around these parts before, so please, pray tell, what brings you to our shop of wonders?
Well, we are here on specific purposes, but this place is magical, if you will forgive the pun.
It definitely is. I really appreciate the recognition of that. It is quite a wondrous place to be, and I'm happy you're enjoying it.
Wow. What I see the common things. We even saw someone out harvesting wheat. Do you know that guy? He was going so fast.
Oh yeah, old Farmer Color. Yeah, you happen to see some of our most recent handiwork out there in the fields on the way to town. That's great. That's great.
Thought maybe that's amazing. How do you do that?
Well, it all kind of stems from the story about this place itself. I imagine if you saw old Farmer Color himself, that you happen to see what he named himself, by the way, the Scythemaster 9000. That was I don't have 8,999 other Scythe Masters, but he was really excited about naming it that. He is one of the first people to take up arms, so to speak, in regards to our organization here. So it kind of just is a part of the story, and he was one of the first people to kind of kickstart this whole venture. So it all starts here. Our story, several years ago, came to this small town of Phandalin, and met a part of a band of individuals that kind of helped us clear out a cave to a magical forge of wonders, and that forge in a place called Wave Echo Cave is how we were able to provide the different enchantments that we can to this fine village of Phandalin. And it's a lot of proprietary information. We've been at it for many years. Not going to get into details. Can't do that. But it allows us to enchant previously unenchanted items in ways unseen in the natural world in other ways. So it's very exciting. Very exciting.
That is amazing.
Yes.
You didn't do it alone, but you did have some help clearing out what was that place?
It's called Wave Echo Cave. Yeah, there were some brave individuals. We all have some bad days from time to time. There were some good folks in the end, but they helped clear out that cave and get us the opportunity to check it out, see what we could do with it, and we've been able to improve the lives of everyone in Phandalin so far that's been able to participate. It's been really good.
It is quite something.
So you would say that particular cave was very profitable for your venture, then, I'd say, right?
Yeah, well, I'm not quite going to discuss, the monetary gains and things like that from such, but from a research and capabilities perspective, we have definitely grown quite a bit.
Ah, well, hope you paid those adventurers really well for the work that they did.
Well, it's a little bit different now, naturally. I saw those folks a couple times throughout our history together, but not quite since we've launched the Emporium the way it is. No, the first time they came through, the cave crumpled on top of us, and then one of them, was not very kind afterwards. I won't go into too much details there, but it didn't leave on the best of terms at the end. So we're better now, though. It's just emotions run high whenever you're almost caught in a cave-in, don't you know?
Sure. Yeah, I could see that.
Well, I mean.
Anyways.
Yeah.
But now we're here.
Wow.
Yeah, and old Farmer Color, he's been through quite a bit. He almost lost his own farm if it weren't for us here. He had a tragic accident and lost both his arms, and was working with prosthetics, and had the opportunity to see if we could enchant those prosthetics, and in the end, we'll leave it at that. In the end, we were able to do it. It's really good. Really good.
So does he work for you now, or are you guys incorporated, or
No more than being a great advocate for the Emporium himself.
Gotcha.
He's one of the first people you see when you walk in, and he works incredibly hard, and he's a great advocate for the Emporium.
So, all right. We are here for a purpose. We have a little bit of coin for an earpiece, and we're gonna pick up some hops too. So maybe you've already got all this prepared for this particular errand that we're running?
Well, I don't. Yeah, I pardon, if I come off. I mean, by no offense whatsoever to you, but I can't really talk about other types of customers' engagements unless you give me a little bit more information. Hops. I could certainly. You mentioned some sort of earpiece. I believe I know what you're talking about over here. He starts to walk over
Mhm.
to kind of a display case type of a thing. And I think I have something you're talking about here, but you're going to have to be a little bit more specific if you're talking about something else that we don't have out here on the show floor.
Oh, sure. So we came from this amazing brewery. They're known far and wide. And this individual Belmont, who we're in the Circle of Trust, and we're helping him out with some errands, and looking to get those magical hops for that special beer.
Okay. Well, I kind of see what you're saying there. I do, I believe, know what you're talking about, but from I am afraid I don't quite know a Belmont associated with that order. Is there anybody else who might be doing the business there than a Belmont?
Was there an
Do
alley?
you,
Allie,
Oh, Allie. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Same page then,
Yeah, they're-
folks. Same page. Yes.
yeah, they're
Yes.
up in Cragmar. Yeah,
I don't know where you're talking about, but Allie's in Craghammer.
Cragham.
The old
Yeah.
Firebrook,
Yeah.
Absolutely. I don't drink myself, but I'm very excited to see. At least Allie was quite excited when she was talking about what they were going to be doing. So, actually, this is from a personal perspective, not being one to imbibe the alcohol myself. It's still an exciting one. I haven't actually tried enchanting plants or edible things in the forge before, but this stuff turned out just great. So
Do you have
it
any idea
doesn't.
what it might do?
I have no idea. This is great. It's I've never done this type of thing before. They just said bring us back whatever. We do that type of thing. If you hand me something and you say I just wanted to enchant, I just want to see what you can do for a price. I'll absolutely do that for you. If just for your own information as potential customers of the Emporium, if you just want to see what happens, no problem. I can do that for you for a small sum. If you're interested, say, I want a little bit more of an idea of what happens. We can figure it out a little bit more, narrow it down to a couple things. And if you want a specific enchantment, we can absolutely do that for you for a higher sum of money. But
So, like,
these,
a random
Allie was just
enchantment?
like, just do whatever. What's up?
Like a random enchantment is like an option, I guess, and it just like whatever comes out of it, I guess.
Yeah. It's all a part of the contract that you sign at the end of the day.
Oh.
It's just, you give me a sum of money, you give me the item that you're interested in, and we'll see what comes out at the end whenever we get done. It takes a couple days, of course.
How
But
much is the sum
well, if
for a random
if
enchantment of a small item?
a random enchantment, if for something just random, is 300 gold pieces.
Damn. Okay.
If you would like to have have it narrowed down, again, we've been at this for several years, so we've honed our skills to the point where if you would like more time and labor put into it, we can narrow down what we could do to about 3 random enchantments. And then if there is a specific enchantment you would want, that's the highest price, of course.
Give
Gotcha.
us the whole price range just in case we're interested.
Well, if you want random enchantment is 300 gold pieces. If you want a random roll of 1 of 3 that you know about, that's going to be about 750 gold pieces. And then if you want one specific confirmed enchantment, that's going to be about 2,000 gold pieces.
Okay, not a cheap
Okay.
process.
That is impressive, though.
It's very
Right.
impressive.
That's pretty
It's-
cool.
It does take some time. It's taken us quite a bit of time to hone our skills in using this forge, but we're pretty proud of what we can do.
How much
Yeah.
did automaton color, out there cost?
Well, of course, you can understand. It is not ethical to talk about what other customers can do, especially individuals like
That's
Fine
very
Mr. Color.
impressive.
Yeah.
Impressive.
I appreciate
Substantial.
that. Yeah, that is certainly proprietary information, and I am not about to talk about different customers' information with different customers. You can understand. I would not want to do that with you with different customers. If you had questions and someone else that came asking about you, I wouldn't do that.
Do you have anything?
No,
That's
already,
pretty
like,
impressive handiwork, though,
enchanted?
isn't it? Though you gotta agree with that,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah, I do what you did there. Handiwork. Very funny.
Oh, I didn't even know that. Yeah,
Ah,
that's good. That's
love it.
good.
Do you have any other anything you make? Just like, I'm sure people come and see you from far and wide. Is there something that you have that you always have in stock?
For sure. Yeah. We have a couple things that we have in stock right now. We can get back to this these hops things later, but a couple things. Like I said, Farmer Color, yeah, that old rascal, the Scythe Master 9000. It will cost someone coming in about 2,000 gold pieces. What this is, so how it naturally works. It is an autonomous flying scythe that moves upon using a command word set by the one that's attuned to it, so it does require attunement. It's basically the equivalent of a spiritual weapon in stat block with a scythe or a sickle, depending on which one you get.
That is pretty awesome. For $2,000, pretty great.
Yep. The other one, naturally, that just saw alongside of it, if one comes another, especially if you're a farmer, is the Baginator. That'll be 1,000 gold pieces. And it just picks stuff up. What this does is, if there's anything in a room of value that you may not have seen, the Baginator goes and gets it for you.
That's really nice, actually.
Yep. And then there's a couple things here that we just happen to enchant for a couple folks that just never came back to get them. Not sure what happened. Hopefully they're okay someplace. But just a couple of random things that they had enchanted that we're willing to part for a certain number of things. There's a what he gives you an example is the Wraps of Sight, which is a monk only item for 1,500 gold. They're 1d6 fist wraps, and if you roll a natural 18 plus on an attack roll, the enemy is blinded for 1 turn.
1 turn?
I'm
Yes.
so poor and so sad at looking at these things. He's drooling and crying at the same time. That's
Yep.
what Lloyd's doing. So.
There
It's okay
is-
though. He's gonna walk out.
There is a Cloak of the Lion, which is 1,000 gold pieces. And it allows the wearer to cast the Fear spell once per long rest, and also looks awesome.
Damn it.
Um,
I feel like
and
if it
then
looks
there
bad,
is something called the Eye of Tunis for 1,000 gold pieces. It is an ancient amulet that's worn around the neck, and once per short rest, if the wearer swipes their finger across the circular front of the amulet, the face shines brightly and a melody plays within their ear and grants them 1d6 of inspiration.
That's not bad. That's pretty good.
What does inspiration do again?
It inspires
It gives you 1d6.
Makes you smarter.
for any roll or save, basically, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
Any roll, save, anything.
Oh, okay.
So I think
So you
everybody.
have your, it's like a pocket bard once a day.
Okay, bardically. Okay, bardically
Right.
inspired. Got it.
Or you have a
Yeah,
bard
I
and do
mean,
it.
They
we all
have-
can agree that the monk thing would be the best thing for us to buy, right? I mean, it's
You have
It's
to
a smart
connect with the hits
purchase.
first.
Not quite done yet. Not quite
Okay.
done yet.
All right.
They do have a bag of holding for 3,000 gold.
Oh my god.
Oh God!
Well, easy come,
Oh,
easy go.
They and Pumat's pretty proud of this one. He's puffing his chest up when he tells you about Pumat's temporary tent of terrificness for 1,000 gold pieces. It is a backpack that provides 5 castings of Leomund's tiny hut before the
my
pack
God.
falls apart to disarray and becomes a standard camping
yeah.
set. It also comes, you can upgrade that for 200 gold pieces to a restock for 5 castings upon the next visit to Pumat's Emporium.
Oh,
And the
wow.
first restock is free if you go
Right.
for gold tier.
Brian, you are really whetting our appetite from previous. Like, how dare you?
I mean,
I know.
just need
You know
more
where to get
cash, man.
How dare you?
You
There's a
have
certain character
what
in our
level do you
group
get
that can get
that
that.
spell?
At some
What was that?
I
point.
think
I
it's
said, what level do you get that fucking spell?
what? It's probably your next level.
I think it is my next level. I think it's level 5. I can get it.
Yeah. It's either-
Hey, Puma, do you know anything about hag's teeth? Like the teeth of a Annis hag?
Oh no, hags are in general pretty horrendous individuals, and so I tend to not equate anything that I do with anything that a hag does. I have not personally run into one, and I would like to personally keep it that way.
Highly recommend. We just ran into one not too long ago, and it was not a pleasant experience. But Steve takes off his ring that he made out of the one hag's tooth that he still has.
Yes.
He says, "I made this out of the iron tooth that we were able to, one of the iron teeth that kind of, let's just say, came with the bargain of meeting up with us, and I wanted you to see if there's anything you could do with it. And it's rendered from an iron hag's tooth." And as a forge cleric, I understand making things and interesting things like that. See where you're coming from, and I made this, and I wanted you to have it and maybe see if there's anything you can do with it or wanted to do with it. He sets it on the counter and says, "Do with it, and if there's anything you can or want to do with it, it's up to you."
What looks down at it and looks up at you and says, "Well, have you
What?
tried sanitizing it first? I'm just wondering."
Oh, it got fully let's say inundated in the flame. Like
Okay. Well,
yeah, it was,
that's good. Fire
didn't go-
kills most things, so
we didn't go
that's
straight
definite
from
plus.
mouth, like from mouth to
The ring of poop.
ring. Yeah.
That's good. That's well. That's definitely answers my first and maybe first through 5 questions there. So that's good. My 6th question, I guess, would be: did you want it enchanted in some way? Because we discussed the cost of those.
No, I'm kind of just leaving it with you. It's more of a if you can find a use for it or something like that. It's an item that we don't have any use for, but you, as a man who can enchant different things and looking for different unique characteristics,
Gross.
You.
it's yours.
You're just giving me a random silver ring that was made from a tooth of a hag.
Yes,
Right.
sir. I can turn it back into the tooth.
Hey,
if-
well,
if
You can
And here's
it's-
a talisman. Also,
There were 2
of the
teeth.
hag.
made
There's a
by
talisman
something.
that I
Yeah,
also made.
you can have that too. You can have that also.
You just walk into a store and you just give the storekeeper things. This is an interesting trade. I've never seen this before.
Giving
gifts
is part of my shtick, actually.
All right.
Surprisingly.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And he takes out a handkerchief out of his pocket and he kind of scoops up the hag tooth ring and kind of wraps it in it and puts it to the side. He says, "Thank you very much."
One
Hey, you're
hag
giving
tooth ring.
a talisman. What kind of talisman is this?
Same thing, made of the other tooth of the iron hag tooth. And
Oh,
I
You
made
just
both
went to
of these
town
items.
as a dentist on this hag, didn't you?
Steve looks over. Yes.
Dang, this hag must have done something to you. Or she just, you're actually a dentist and I didn't know that.
She tried to kill all of us.
Well, maybe she deserved to have the 2 teeth ripped out then. That makes sense. Okay, well, I appreciate this. We'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do with it. I appreciate it.
There you go.
Thank you, sir.
I have a
Thank you
question
very
about
much.
this bag.
We do here. Or I think you mentioned looking for earpieces as he moves down the, down the glass case. He he pulls out what appear to be two small stones. They are gray in color, and they have a kind of a spiral shaped blue kind of engraved in them. And he says, so you put one in your ear, in your actual ear, and then whoever you're talking to or whoever you want to talk to, you put the other one in their ear, and you just put your finger up to your ear and kind of press on that stone, and then you can speak and hear what they have to say the entire time. It's pretty fascinating. These are 500 gold pieces each. Or total, excuse me, not each. It's for a pair.
And here's that 500 gold.
We have that money.
Oh, okay, great. 500 gold.
Exactly
That's
500
great.
gold.
That's great. Perfect. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Do these need to be gift wrapped at all?
I would love if we could gift wrap them individually.
Oh, individually. Okay, so they're going to different people. That's great. Okay, so excuse me, hey, Pumat. He kind of snaps his fingers up in the air, and he said, Pumat, couldn't you come gift wrap these, please? And the other Pumat
Do
gets
you have
up.
any gold wrapping by any chance? Like
Gold wrapping?
Is there
Pumat, do we have any gold?
Not necessarily made of gold, but
Oh
look at
no, yeah,
gold color.
that would be a little bit extravagant. I don't think we quite have that. But Pumat, do we have any like gold tissue paper or anything like that? Pumat. I'll go check in the back. Oh, thank you so much, Pumat. Appreciate you. And the other Pumat gets up and kind of just slinks into the back. He's great. You know, he's a really good partner. We'll see what happens. He shortly, comes back out, has a little, gift bag looking thing, as gift bag as you can have in these times, but it's multicolored. You open it up and it's got a little couple like, sparks that fly out of it, kind of arcane sparks whenever you open it up. That's going to make it look real special, like you're buying it for somebody real nice. And he said, well, we don't have gold, but we can, prestidigitation, some gold sparkles coming out. That's a great idea, Pumat. Thank you so much. Prestidigitation, and here's some gold sparkles that open up. Will that work for you?
That is really wonderful. What do you think, guys?
Way cooler than I expected, actually.
Yeah.
Well done. Well done.
Super impressed.
Perfect. Very, very happy to please some patrons of the Emporium. That's great.
I think that's all we really came for today, but maybe we'll come back again. We still got to get the hops though, right? I mean,
oh yes, please come on back. And in all honesty, you can actually, as I'm not sure if the other Pumat informed you or not, but as you are officially, patrons of the Emporium and not just visitors, we could take a tour of the cave if you're interested. You want to go see the forge itself?
Oh my god, yes, please.
That sounds like fun.
Oh,
let's
great.
do it.
Why not?
Great. Well, let's go check out and make sure those hops are right where they need to be. And on our way, we got to walk through the shop anyways. We'll head on over to the Wave Echo Cave and go to the forge. How's that sound?
That sounds wonderful.
Oh, great. So he beckons you back around.
Hello.
Both of them have come from and walked into multiple times. As you walk to the back of the shop, it's more of the same. Much more of a storage area though than what the out front is. It's not quite as garishly decorated or anything like that, but similar themes, I guess, but much more of a storage area. There are more mundane items out in the open, but behind some lock and key barred areas, I should say, are more of the garish, magical looking items, for lack of a better term. As you walk through, you do see something behind those bars on the magical side that is also contained behind glass, and Cornelius, you catch that there's some sort of magical lock keeping the container secured. And it looks to be some sort of wooden staff behind that glass.
Come on, what's the staff here?
Pumat stops in his tracks. He doesn't turn to face you, but holds his arm out as if to gesture towards that item. And he says, "Oh, that is what I like to call a reminder."
Oh.
You see, when we first started working at the forge, we did a lot of experimenting. There are still are actually, but it's much more manageable now. But anywho, when we felt pretty good about enchanting standard items, basic things, we attempted further enchantments of already enchanted items, and that did not go so well. He turns around and faces the group. He says, "Have you ever heard of a hither thither staff?"
Never heard of.
Nope.
Very
haven't
descriptive.
not
Never
heard.
have.
I don't even know
Well-
what half of those words mean.
It is a magical item. It's incredibly rare, and it's here on, at least here on this plane of existence. It's quite more common in the Feywild. I wouldn't necessarily say you find it on every doorstep, but you see them a little bit more often in the Feywild. Anywho, I was given one from one of my compatriots I've partnered with from time to time. What it does is in normal circumstances, you can say the magic word hither and create a portal in any solid object near you. Then you say the magic word thither to create another portal up to 500 feet away.
Ooh.
It really makes travel incredibly easy. Well,
Yeah, I've never seen anything like that.
it's fascinating. It makes traveling incredibly easy, I tell you. But he waves his hand over to the glass case. He said, "Well, this used to be a thither staff. I now call it the hither and yon staff. After we attempted to utilize the forge to further enhance its magical properties. What came out when we removed it is quite dangerous.
Hither and
One of-
yon?
Hither and yon, yes.
Gone yon?
Well, yes. One of my partners here in Vandalin starts to get a little choked up. Said attempted to use the staff to see what it would do after we used the forge, and he said the word hither and created a portal, and he said the word thither and created another portal. Except when he went through, he did not immediately come out the other side, and
Ooh.
in fact, he never did."
Oh shit.
Kind of
Oh,
gathers himself together a little bit. We tried to do the same a bunch of times to see if we could get the other Pumat back, and in fact, it worked as it usually should a couple of times, but we never found him.
Oh man.
Oh goodness.
How many
Yeah.
Pumat
nice.
brothers do you have exactly?
Well, here it's just me and Pumat outside. It was me and Pumat and Pumat, but that Pumat's gone. He is gone. He's been gone for a while.
We're
Oh my
sorry.
goodness.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
pats him on the shoulder reassuringly.
I thank you so much. Appreciate that. It's I theorize we've tried a couple things, but I theorize that this thing may from time to time send you to a random plane of existence.
Oh my
Um,
goodness.
One
So-
time when we were trying to find Pumat, have you ever heard of the city of Brass?
Kind
Mm-mm.
of.
It's it's the capital city in the elemental plane of fire.
Oh.
you know,
I don't want to go there.
when you open one of these portals, it kind of has a little bit of a ripple effect, and in between the ripples, I happened to see that. I'd been there once before, and I happened to see the beauty of it. And then horrifyingly, I did it again, and I'm pretty sure I was looking back at a kraken before I closed that portal.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm you know, I don't know what happened with the other Pumat, but you know, we keep that in remembrance that enchanted items should not be further enchanted by this forge for fear of the dangerous repercussions.
It's a expensive lesson. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. You know, I hope one day one day we find him. I don't know.
Me too, buddy. Me too.
Yeah.
If we
Yeah.
come across another one of you while we're out there, we'll see if we can help out. Okay.
Well, yeah, anyone that's outside of Zadash out on you know, the Continental Wildmount, I think would be an interesting find. I'm the only ones that we know of outside of Zadash. So if you find anybody, it's probably, well, you know, hopefully it's him. You can send him back our way.
Right. We will.
Oh, get it together, Pumat. Get it together.
Easy there, buddy.
Anyways, he turns back around and he keeps walking. He kind of wipes a tear from his eyes. He comes to the bank. Here's the load. Here's the load. And you see on a pallet a number of large sacks, stacked about 6 feet high. And he's like, I believe this is just what Allie requested. Again, I'm not much of a drinker myself, but I'm very intrigued about what comes from these ingredients. Please tell Allie I'd love to hear about what the outcomes are and if she's interested in further partnership, of course. It's the first time we've ever done anything like this, so I'm excited.
Yeah, I think everyone's excited for this one. I'm sure she'll share the results.
I'd love to find out, and I will absolutely keep a place available for them on our schedule if they have, you know, if they're interested in you know, further partnership.
Definitely let them know.
Great. So yeah, you guys have a cart out front. You know, I'm sure these will stack up just fine, and we'll for the time being, I'll ask Pumat to load that up for you, and then we'll head out to the cave. How's that sound?
I am excited to see this cave.
Great. Love it. Absolutely love it. So the cave is a bit of a jaunt from the village itself, but I have set up I've had set up a special teleporter to get to the mouth of the cave here. For some reason, the cave is pretty mystical, as you'll see. The teleporter can't work from within the cave, so it only works to the outside of the cave. But we'll get there a little bit quicker than you know, hoofing it, so to speak. So come on. He heads you to the back room of Pumat's Emporium. On the floor is an enchantment circle that you can walk into, and Pumat whispers a couple words and moves his fingers in a certain way, and then purple light envelops you to the point where it's blinding, and you can't see anything but the color purple as you look around to your compatriots, and then suddenly the purple starts to die down, and you're in a forest right outside of the mouth of a cave. And Pumat turns around and says, "Well, welcome to where the magic happens. Hopefully was a pretty good ride for you."
That was amazing.
Some would say magical.
Oh, I would absolutely say magical. I'm glad other people would say the same. So come on in. So this place, you know, again, we do tours for paying customers who are interested. But it is a cave, so it's a little dark, a little bit dank. Apologies for anything that may be a little off-putting to you, but we do our best to ensure that our individuals that our paying customers are feel comfortable as they can be. So you walk in, you walk through a corridor, and the sunlight from outside starts to get dimmer and dimmer and dimmer. And as you get deeper into this hallway, more or less, you start to see more of a purple glow, and you come out into an open area with a ladder that drops down into a big pit. He says, "Okay, watch your step. Follow me, please." And it is a big pit, about 30 feet deep. As you go down, Pumat gestures you to the right, where there is a large staircase up to another segment of hallway. But on either side of that staircase are two large arcane golems.
Ooh. Friendly golems, obviously.
They are motionless, glowing, but they stand as sentries to this staircase.
Oh,
So we know they're arcane because they're glowing.
They have very similar sigils to that of old Farmer Color.
There you go.
okay.
What are they protecting here, Pumat?
Oh, we have a lot of people that want to come in and see what's up with this cave itself here. So these fine individuals were donated to the Emporium by one of our benefactors here that helped us get off the ground. So you can see they do a pretty nifty job right off the bat. Nobody really want to come and mess with these guys, right?
No way, they're
I wouldn't
huge.
think so. They look
Yeah.
kind of tough.
They
I'd like
do
to spar
indeed.
with one of them.
Oh,
If
well,
given the opportunity, maybe look down the road.
yeah,
not
well,
today.
hopefully you don't, because these guys are pretty rough, let me tell you.
I'm just talking sparring. Maybe they can be commanded to
How long have you had them?
not you.
These two? I would probably say we started getting some interest in the cave probably about a couple months ago, I'd say. Something like that. That was about the time, old Farmer Color requested some help after his accident, and again, our benefactor, very generous benefactor, was able to help him out and provide us with some security for the forge. We had a lot of people kind of sneaking in, and since we've taken responsibility for this place, we don't want people getting injured in this cave or anything. We don't want anything coming back to the Emporium that would be untoward, right? And so they recommended we get some security and provided these fine gentlemen and the other gentlemen you'll see along the way.
Who was the benefactor that supplied them?
Oh, I appreciate the question. Again, proprietary, and it would not be ethical for me to reveal that kind of information.
Of
Dang.
course, I apologize.
Yeah.
Oh, by no offense taken whatsoever. No apologies necessary.
I mean, if we happen to, maybe say their name, maybe in passing, you might just maybe nod, maybe.
Oh, I am afraid that I would probably try to not do that as much as possible. For this is genuinely a very good benefactor to the Emporium, and I would not want to do anything to dissuade their future engagement with our business prospects.
Okay. I mean, do you remember an earthquake a couple months back? Do you remember that?
I heard about something for sure. Felt a little bit in the ground. Sure, had a little bit of a flashback myself, if I don't mind saying. But I recognize that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Did that benefactor happen to come shortly after that?
I hadn't made that connection before, but I was probably around the same time. Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Well, little scared right now. Little scared right now.
Kind of confused. It's like, okay.
What are you getting at here, Valdor? What are you thinking?
Oh, I mean, just kind of these sigils kind of look the same as some sigils we've seen in someone else's lair that happened to be underground, and who was dealing with arcane things.
You mean that dead guy that was really tireless?
Correct. Yes, Mr. Tiresome Belivar.
That's the one.
That's his name. Yes.
He was a bit tiresome, and we did kind of let him escape in some way. I mean,
accidental.
Not actually, because we were there for something else, not him.
I mean, yeah, it was. We were there for something else completely, but it was just kind of a coincidental thing that may or may not have happened.
Right.
That's why I was kind of just asking,
for a friend,
just saying. He wasn't kind of a nice guy.
Puma, you know this guy, Tiresome Belivar. You heard of him?
I can honestly say I have never heard that name in my life.
I know that there was a place called, we were working with the Ochre Eye. Does that ring a bell? The Esoteric Society of Arcane Studies. They had kind of locked this gentleman away, so I was a little scared.
I don't think he was a nice guy.
Pumat, he's kind of like looking back and forth to the people who aren't talking in your party. Like, there's a lot of schools of enchantment and things like that are out there. Can't say I've ever heard of the Ochre Eye or who Lord Tiresome Belivar is. Doesn't sound like the most exciting of individuals, though.
No, he had a deep crypt below a spire, and I guess my only thing is, maybe I'm just a little scared because he seems pretty dangerous, and those little guys out there I've seen before. Luckily they weren't moving. But you might want to ask him a couple questions.
Well, I genuinely appreciate your concern, and I appreciate you bringing up the concern to me directly. So, unfortunately, I do not know of the individual that you're speaking of, and I can guarantee you that my own experience with the individuals responsible for these arcane golems, has nothing but the goodwill towards the people, from what I have seen.
Yeah, helped out a farmer. Can't be too bad, right?
Right.
No.
Thank you very much. You see him kind of like his eyes kind of perk up. Is kind of like, yeah, thank you very much for bringing that back up. That's that's exactly what I'm talking about. You guys were listening to me. Thank you so much. Yeah, exactly. Our this benefactor helped a farmer in need, and he's been more productive than ever, and they're helping us keep the lights on here, making sure nobody gets in here and gets injured and winds up upset with us in some way. So it's yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Hey, no problem. Hey, if he turns
I will
out
definitely keep an eye out of this tiresome individual, though, because he does not sound like a great guy.
Yeah, no, you may be able to just, I guess I would just ask if that was the case. If not, I understand. That golem that we saw was a little scary, and just thought I'd give you a warning. Hey, if it turns out to be bad, let me get one of the bag of holdings, because I gave you the tip.
He, Puma again looks somewhat confused and just says, "Okay," gives you a wink and a finger gun. Yeah, let's keep moving. So he turns back around and starts walking up the stairs between the two golems are protecting. Walks up a wooden set of stairs up to a what looks to be a formerly crumbled, dilapidated entrance to another a tunnel entrance, more or less like what you walked through to begin with. And through a number of other rooms, one of them being a room full of various forms of fungus and other growths. And as you walk through, Pumat says, "Now, please try to not touch anything in here. We have tried to clear this out multiple times, and the best we can do is put some ropes up and ensure that people don't go near them. But these are not fun things to touch. So please try to not do that because
Good looking at.
you will be poisoned. So
Oh.
not fun."
Oh goodness.
Some mushrooms.
Just,
yeah.
It just poison fungus?
Yeah. You know, it's one of the things we try and warn people of when we first get into this room is to not touch anything in here. We haven't seen anything airborne or anything like that, but it is something that has been growing since we found the place, and it continues to grow quite a bit. It's actually kind of shot up a little bit more now that we're talking to, come to think of it, type of thing. But do not touch it, please.
Our
Hmm.
buddy,
Yeah.
is this the same stuff we had in we saw in Bellamont, in Craighammer?
Oh,
I mean-
make an investigation check for me, please.
You're like, oh, dice roll, yeah.
Maybe.
We haven't rolled much tonight.
True.
I mean, lots of talking, lots of exposition, good stuff. Wait, what that's gonna be?
Ooh,
Fuck.
that's pretty good.
Uh,
Yeah.
The fungus in
I didn't even notice.
Craighammer,
I'm like,
the fungus in Craighammer was black. This fungus is red.
Oh, well, that's pretty good for a one, actually.
Maybe there's a connection. Maybe
I
there
mean,
definitely maybe is
Does anybody else want to have that same thought?
with
and
a
say that
natural
same
one.
fucking thing?
Maybe
I don't think we have any
Nope. Don't even worry about it.
possibility of doing that there, Mr. Steve. Because you just did it by yourself.
Wow.
Nailed it.
That's,
You walk on through into the next room. You do see a large spire in the middle, surrounded by wildflowers. Real strange. In the middle of a cave, that wildflowers would be growing, but various colors of reds and whites and oranges and yellows just litter the ground in the cave. Again, makes no sense whatsoever. But
Are
you
these
do have.
poisonous too?
Oh no, these are just pretty. We've kind of left these things alone. It's just everlasting life is kind of a beautiful thing to walk into a cave and see flowers.
Man,
Flowers blooming.
That's
It's
Still kind of
crazy.
weird, though, right?
What was that
Oh,
again
it's
you said?
What was that?
Everlasting what?
Everlasting life. It's just these flowers just keep coming back. You pick a couple, and then they just keep coming back. And it's a beautiful place, especially coming back from the place we were just at, with the fungus that doesn't do very fun things. These flowers just do a wonder here. It's absolutely beautiful. Anyways, let's keep going.
Is there like a little like unblossomed bud or anything on the flowers?
Are you asking me or asking?
Yeah.
Come on.
It's like, would Cornelius see a
Oh,
bud?
gotcha. Go ahead and make
Yeah.
make an investigation check. Oh yeah. These you can absolutely make out a couple of flowers that have yet to fully bloom,
Mhm.
and can pluck one if you would like.
Yeah, so I touch it, and with my druid craft, you see the flower bloom, and the one that blooms, I pick.
Yep, it's quite enthralling, and Pumat's actually pretty impressed by it because he hasn't seen anything like this before. But you've never seen a flower move as gracefully and as almost as though it's just flowing like water. It just happens. There's no jerkiness to it whatsoever. It's just this thing suddenly blooms, and all of the petals fall open, and is just it just joins its brothers and sisters in its color and its radiance, and you pluck it from the ground, and you notice that behind it a small sprout begins to grow where you plucked it from the ground.
Wild.
This is pretty powerful magic, don't you think?
Oh, I told you, Wave Echo Cave has a lot of unique things about it, and this happens to be one of the places. What can I say?
Been a wonderful tour so far. I can't wait.
Yeah,
See more.
It's one of the benefits of being a peruser and purchaser of wares from the Emporium. So please follow me. We're almost to the forge. He walks down a set of stone stairs down into another section, and you see 4 of those golems. Along the right side is a large door. Along the right set of walls that you see is a large door with 1 golem on each side.
Wow.
And further
You,
down,
we're taking
the
security lightly here, Beaumont.
oh yeah, no, we take security very seriously here. You see further down there are 2 other golems that are standing towards another doorway further down in this same larger, wider hallway than you've been walking in the past. And Pumat gestures to the door. He says, this is the forge, the great arcane forge, where all of the things you witnessed in the Emporium came into being. And well, we should go on inside, and I'll show you around. So he pushes the door open, and you walk again between these 2 golems. And you enter in, and you see in the middle is a large stone pit with green flame and smoke that kind of sputter out of it. It's a pretty enthralling thing. You walk in there, and there's a slight smell of mint as you walk in. You can't explain it, but it smells minty as you walk in.
Is it spearmint, or is it like a wintergreen mint? Just so
yeah, just to be specific, probably more of a spearmint, I would say. But it kind of wafts as the doors open and you walk in, and it's somewhat welcoming but somewhat off-putting at the same time. And Pumat says, this is this little thing here is exactly what you saw along the ceiling upon entering into the Emporium. That was magically enchanting those pieces on the ceiling, and this is the forge itself.
Remarkable.
It is, isn't it? Very few people know how this works, or why it works, or anything like that. And I dare to say that I'm one of the folks that has at least surmised a potential of its power.
Is there a specific school of magic that it's specializing in?
No. It's depending on well, he stops himself. Proprietary information, you understand.
Oh, sure. Sorry.
Yes.
Yes. Curiosity.
I totally understand. It is a very curious place. But you can see he begins his tour. You can see around here, he walks to the tables, and he walks to a couple different vats where things you recognize as like a furnace type thing, which things can be heated in. There's a vat of water where things can be cooled. He says, you notice we have various different instruments here to treat the things before they go into the forge. Various activities we can do with these things before they enter into the forge itself. You see, the forge does not actually burn, and so if young sir, he reaches out for your hand, Cornelius. Says, if you had come here, give me your hand.
Sure, here.
Takes your hand and he puts it over the forge itself, and it feels cold,
Oh,
not actually hot whatsoever. And the flames dance around your hand. And as a wizard, you've handled flame before, but this is a different type of flame. You can't put your finger on it, but it is definitely a unique sensation putting your hand in this forge. And see, it does not hurt at all. Gives you an idea of what we're dealing with. We don't really have concerns more often than not working with it. It's never really bitten us back itself necessarily, but it is a pretty fascinating process.
How does it know not to enchant my hand?
Great question.
Well, that's a very good point. Things have to be in for a certain period of time. So for you to be in there for a short period of time would not. But as I stated before, we've never enchanted living material before. And the hops that Allie was interested in is the closest thing we've ever done. Someone actually living, never actually tossed him in before. I'm afraid that murder is not something that's really on my bingo card for this year.
No, I think there's enough reminders of the dangers.
Like all these golems.
What? Excuse me? What?
Oh, nothing. What were the other two golems? They were on another
Iron
door.
golems. That's golems. Great golems.
I know. They're pretty
Yeah.
cool.
They are. They keep us safe, which is great. Anyways. So, that's this is Wave Echo Cave. This is the tour. And that's pretty much it. Normally, if you had bought something else that had not been enchanted, I would be throwing it in here and showing you how the process starts. But unfortunately, we don't have that situation in our hands.
Not yet. You have
If you have-
inspired for future tours, though.
Oh,
Yeah.
great. Yeah, if you have anything that'd be interested, one of the things that I enjoy doing is eyeglasses. If you have any eyeglasses or monocles or anything like that, I enjoy doing those quite a bit. Shoes are great as well. Belts
Shoes?
are great.
Do
Well,
they
you
come
said-
out with some stuff when you forge them in here, or is it
Oh,
just-
certainly. Yeah, it could come with a number of things.
That's the 200, no, 500 gold,
300
gold.
300
Wow.
gold.
300 for a random enchantment, 750 if one narrow it down to 3.
Gotcha.
Are there any bad enchantments that come out? Just curiosity.
Great question.
Oh, you certainly could. It certainly could. Again, depends on the level of labor and love that goes into it. And so sometimes, it's not necessarily a bad enchantment, but it's not necessarily the best it could be. So
Oh.
it's kind of the gamble you run.
It's fair.
Would you say it's like 1 in 20 chance, or a 1 in 12 chance, or a 1 in 10 chance, or 1 in 8 chance? 1 in 6 chance?
Really narrowing it
It's-
down
Yeah,
there.
no.
It's
Down there.
greater than 1 in 3, I'll tell you that.
Well, there you go.
That's a fair.
What about this? You had mentioned
the
this
work
Baginator. What's that guy do again?
That one sounded really good to me.
Yeah,
I
the
don't remember.
Baginator, that was that was the follow-up to the Scythe Master 9000. I think Farmer Color let his grandson name some things, but the Baginator, it goes around and collects things that it feels like it needs to collect. So if it's working with the Scythe Master, it's going to be collecting whatever the scythe is harvesting. If it follows you all around, it might find some things that you need to have picked up.
What does it? Can you put stuff in it to hold it, or no? It just follows you, and then you can at a time. Does it tell you that it's full and it needs to be looked at?
I mean, yeah, it's a bag. It gets full at times. It's going to stop collecting things after a little bit, but it is certainly not a bag of holding. We do have those on sale as well. I'm sure your keen eyes caught that. But it is not a bag of holding. It will absolutely get full at some point in time.
That's fair.
But I like to think that the benefit of it isn't in the carrying capacity, but in the support that it supplies.
So it would just be, so I guess if it was following me around and let's say I wanted, like I was just thinking about something and it's like, oh, the next time it runs across it, it would just like, is it magically zapped in there or is it just not magically zapped in there?
Oh no, it physically goes and scoops it up.
Oh, so the bag would leave me, pick it up, and then come back.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of awesome. But bag of holding it's cost more, but also good.
So it's not sneaky.
Oh, that's true.
It's
Can it get
not
stolen?
sneaky. What,
Like,
the Baginator?
Yeah, can like somebody
Yeah, Well, I never thought of that before. Nobody really steals in Phandalin that much. I would suppose it would probably come back to you.
Interesting.
Because it naturally comes back to you
Well, it's
anytime I find
attuned, right?
something anyways. Yeah, correct.
Gotcha.
You say no one steals in Phandalin?
Very few people do, yeah. I've never heard of it, at least.
I mean, what else do they need? They have all this prosperity. It's a great spot.
Definitely a conclave or something going on here. Something creepy.
Interesting.
I mean, it's very nice, actually.
About to say it's not that creepy. But
I mean, everybody's happy.
We are in a cave right now. I understand.
Oh, yeah.
What's with the poison of the growth, though? Like, you've got the flowers that are, like, all life. Is the poisonous growth, like, the death part of your magic or something?
I mean, it's not a part of my magic at all. It's more of a, hazard of working in a cave is how I've taken it.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for the showing us around, though. It's pretty cool. Appreciate it.
Oh yeah, no, that's great. All paying customers of the Emporium get a tour, and if you'd like to come back and have another, I am very happy to provide it to you. If you become a paying customer yet again, so feel free to come by anytime.
Oh, Mr. Puma, thank you. I really
So
appreciate
much.
it.
Yeah,
What's
this
the
has
worst
been great.
outcome that you've had come out from one of these items you've enchanted?
Let's not ask that. He already told us the story.
You know what? I think since I'm here and since I've got some cash, I'm gonna go ahead and enchant something. Since we're all here, let's just do it, okay? I want to see this thing in action. So here's my 300 gold. So I have 424. You can take 300 of that from me, and I will put my quarter staff out there for some enchantment.
Shit.
Okay. Oh, great. This is good. All right. I'm going to put this into the forge. So what happens here? So it'll take a couple of days. Now it says it's a random enchantment. It's going to take much less time than if it was a specific enchantment. You come back in about 3 days, and we'll see what happens with the quarterstaff. Okay.
All right. Sounds like a plan.
All right. So if you would like to do the honors, you can put it into the forge yourself if you would like.
Oh yeah. We're milking that.
How deep is that forge? Like, is it infinitely deep?
I'm not worried. You just back off, Steve. Get the fuck out of my way. All right. Grab my quarter staff. Push Steve to the side who's being annoying. I'm gonna gently, insert my quarterstaff into said forge.
All right, and you drop it in there, and
you forgot the pre-treatment.
Was there a pre-treatment? God damn.
You see the flames kind of begin to wrap around it, and then dissipate, and then start at the bottom again, and wrap around it all the way to the top, and then dissipate as they go, and like slowly wrap around it as it's lowered into the forge until you don't see it anymore. And Pumat says, "No worries. That's standard for this process. And in a couple of days' time, it'll be ready for your pickup, okay? Now, we will hold on to this for you for a matter of 4 months until we have to put this back on the shelf and have other people have the opportunity to purchase it. We only have so much inventory space. So we will hold on to this for you for 4 months. You just provide us your name when you get back and what it was, and we will be happy to provide it to you.
Cool. All right. Yeah, we're going to pick it up as soon as possible. Don't you worry.
Perfect. That's great. Okay, so give it about 3 to 5 days and it'll be ready, okay?
Gotcha. All right. Well, guess
All
we're
right.
done then.
Isn't that your only weapon?
Dude,
I was
I
gonna say
have
that. You need,
fists,
like, another
okay?
thing.
My fists, and I do a little, kung fu thing where I probably trip a little bit because I'm drunk. But yeah, no, I got fists, man. I'm good. Unarmed strike, monk.
Yep. All right. Pumat says, well, thank you so much for checking out the cave and visiting the Emporium. We can head on back out there, and we'll head on back out to the entrance of the cave to the teleportation circle. You make your own way through and go back through the field of cave-grown flowers and avoid the poisonous fungi that are in the cave past there, and down past the other golems that are guarding the stairs up into the Wave Echo Cave, and then back up the ladder and out the main long hallway that brought you from outside to inside. You stand back on the circle, the arcane circle outside of the cave. Purple light engulfs you yet again, and after several seconds, the purple arcane light dies down, and you find yourself back in Pumat's Emporium.
So good. Puma, one question.
Very cool.
Oh yeah, what you got?
Is there a, we'll say, expiration on the hops that we've loaded up?
Oh no, we are good. You get them back to them. They paid special to make sure that their enchantment did not run out whatsoever.
Okay, good.
Wow.
That's good.
Great question.
Not cheap.
Yeah, no, they spared no expense on this one. Let me tell you. That's why I'm interested. If it goes well, make sure they come back. They're welcome to come back.
Definitely pass on the message.
All right. Well, great. Well, thank you so much. It looks like Pumat has set your cart up with all of the sacks of hops there, and you're good to go.
Awesome. Thank you.
Oh, thank you all very much. It's been a pleasure, absolute pleasure spending time with you, and thank you for visiting the Emporium. I welcome you back anytime. Tell family and friends about us, and look forward to seeing you again to pick up your quarterstaff there.
10-4, good buddy. We'll be back, or
Interesting.
I'll be back, I guess. So
I mean, I think
we
we're all
won't
going
split
to
the
come.
party up. We'll all come down, back down.
he's got good stuff. We'll have cash in the future. So
You might not.
let's go.
Yes. So.
But I'll have a quarterstaff that turns people into frogs, so you can fuck off.
I mean,
50%
or
of the
you're
time
gonna
it'll
have,
turn you into a frog.
yeah.
Hey. Y'all just need to be less pessimistic. I have a 75% chance of something good.
Well, I was debating
50%
whether
of the
to
time
give him
it
my
works every
warhammer,
time.
and I decided.
Well,
not
I beat you to the punch, or you could still go back and do that probably.
to. No, I'm good.
I thought about doing it in my forge tongs, something more innocuous, but not for 300 gold.
I mean, it was a little pricey, but no big deal. I think it's worth it. So, and I need some practice with my kung fu. So,
But what if it makes your kung fu harder to do? You have no idea.
not asking for your opinion.
Keep it
Let's
moving.
go ahead and get going.
What are we doing?
Do you have another
We're-
weapon?
No, I've got my unarmed strikes. I'll be fine. I don't hit quite as hard, but I hit decently. So
Do you
I
want
get
a
3.
long sword?
Oh, you got a spare?
I mean,
I don't think I can
you
use a
can't use them.
longsword.
You can't use them, yeah.
No,
Oh, you
I need a monk weapon.
Okay, yeah, I don't have that. I have a longsword that I could give you.
I
give
could
you
take
hand
a. I'm okay for now. If we come across something that's useful, we'll think about it. I mean, I don't really need much. Like, I can take a wooden stick and use it as a weapon, essentially. So, sort of. They're not
Cool.
expensive, or it wouldn't be.
All right, are we
Let's go.
away from Pumont now?
Pumont thanks you very much. He thanks you for a while, and you walked out of the Emporium, and you're now back on the streets of Phandalin.
Are we staying here for 3 days, guys?
I mean, we don't have to. We can
no,
take
we
it back
can
and
come
come back, right? So it's not a very long trip. So
He did say he'd hold on to it for 4 months before he goes
Right.
back on the shelf for other people to purchase.
I mean, certainly it'd be nice to have it sooner rather than later, but not a big deal. So
Or do we stay for 3 days?
Yes.
Well, I guess my question is, as I was hinting with Mr. Pumont, I have I have a little bit of a fear here that he got as Cornelius was saying,
connected to
those sigils look very familiar from ones that he had seen before.
Yes,
Yeah.
they definitely, like, based on what we saw in the cave and what the archivist said, it's
Yeah.
really feeling like the benefactor is
Tiresome.
Belavar.
one of
Yes.
the partners of
think,
Belavar, the Tinkerer.
Hmm.
All on the same page. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because
Good call.
I was looking at the big thing that caught my attention again was that all those, not just the amount of golems, but when Mr. Pumont said that nobody steals, which is what I was asking about that bag. Nobody steals in Phandalin, but yet they have all that security and nobody steals.
Well, true, but
But he also said that this new security came like within the past couple of months.
and he wouldn't tell us who
That's what I
provided
mean.
it, right?
Well, that's what I meant.
Right,
is
but
that
it's like if
Yeah.
nobody steals, like how relevant of a like statement is that? Is that as of like
Mm.
now? Like like
Well, I
as
mean-
of recently? It didn't sound like that way.
Well, that was the reason. I think they're trying to keep people out so that they can do something in there, not to protect the flame. They're protecting what they're doing in there, if that makes sense.
So, I pull
Yeah.
the flower out. B-Dog.
yeah. Remember that?
What does it state? How does it look?
It is dried and withered.
Huh?
Okay. I, like you would do like a plant press.
Yep.
I put it in my spell book, and like one of the back pages is like a press of that.
You put it in there, you hear a slight like crunch a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is, when I say dried and withered, it is like it is desiccated.
Mm.
I guess my question to the group is, do we want to stay the night and see if we see anything out of the ordinary other than the regular stuff we've seen out of the ordinary? Or do we want
gonna,
to
like,
head back?
Post up and watch his shop. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I mean,
Or
yes,
watch the
yes, that's what I was
caves?
saying. Is that, well, I don't know where the cave is. None of us know where the cave is. We teleported there.
True.
But just
Well, that
trying
would be
to-
where we need to go, though, right? I mean, that's where the magic is and all the shit's going on.
That's true.
Don't we have some hops to move?
We do.
We
We'll
do
be back.
So why don't we just do that? And we have 40 days to come back for. Was it 40 days, Brian?
4 months.
4
months.
months. 4 months.
So it's like
4 months.
plenty of fucking time.
Yeah, there's plenty
So,
of time, but
that
again,
seems
I'm just getting at that if we
I mean, I'd like to get my stat back. That's
want
true.
to investigate for a couple days before we bring it back, maybe.
He did say 3 to 5 days on the staff, so maybe it might take longer too. So if we already like wait the 3 days for it, and then we're like, oh damn, now we're gonna wait longer, that'll suck a little bit. So
Okay.
But the hops, we can get back to the golden dragon, which we need a golden dragon
Well,
scale for.
so
And we're also going to get paid heavily on that.
yeah. I also think the longer
I
we
think
delay
that would be
that,
the best
like,
use of our time.
I mean, at least in Thanlin they should be safe. But if we leave Thanlin, then we take the hops on the road or to wherever, and then they could be, attacked or stolen or something. Not that will happen.
I mean, I'm fine either way. I just thought it would be a good idea to do a little bit of investigating, knowing that we let out Tiresome Belivar, and this is giving me the vibes of what he's doing, because this is new security for a place that didn't have much thievery to begin with.
Yeah,
And I'm down for it.
Let's not look over the fungus.
Right.
That's another good call out.
That was another one that the archivist said.
We should have taken a sample of it, but I don't know how we would have. So.
Yeah.
Well,
like
I mean,
a good
here's
idea.
the thing. I can. So, what else did the archivist say? I can't remember. I gotta look back at my notes.
So Belivar was partnering with multiple necromancers.
Right.
Tinkerer was one of them. That was the Golem guy.
Oh, Grail the Tinkerer, Umog.
Yeah.
The Cave Master's Umog.
Yeah, exactly. And
just
then
found it.
Pacius,
Pharaoh.
everlasting life through the seasons, which, I guess blossoming of things could
And then
be.
the Desolate Grim, everlasting light through parasitic union.
Yeah, which I don't know that I saw parasitic stuff in there, did we?
No, we did. That's like the. Well, I don't know, technically, but I mean, fungus is kind of like a parasite.
Okay, how about this? How about this?
No.
If we want, if we want to wait,
I like it.
Okay, if we want to do this, I will go back in and I'll give him another 300 gold. Throw my warhammer in, because I have a long sword that I can use.
So we do another reconnaissance, basically, and do some
and then
more.
We go back in there again. Sounds dumb.
Do we tell him what we're doing, or do we just do it?
Why would we tell him and then say, "Oh, hey, can I?" It's like, "Ooh, what about this? We got one of those. Can we get one of these?" You know what I mean? Maybe.
Oh, now it seems like kind of weird, but awkward. But we could do it if you wanted to.
I don't know. It's just I'm just asking. I'm asking.
It seems kind of off track for me. I don't know. I'm trying to look at it more linear. Like, how long did it take us to get here?
Day and a half.
Day and a half.
Okay, so then we're 3 days if we go
and then come back.
And then we can come back and see how things may or may not have progressed without drawing too much attention to ourselves, and then handle it. But that's just my thinking.
Plus, we'll have more gold then, right? We're each going to get, 200 from this after we deliver, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
we can
fine.
buy some shit.
But we also know that the hops is not going to expire, which is a really good question. I think that
True.
Called out.
Good call. Good call.
So I don't know. Here we are.
Yeah, let's head back and deliver the hops.
Is that we head back. That's
and then we can talk about the other ones. The Tinker.
You're the boss.
Valandor said go, we're going.
We can go back. I think if we come back, that's right. We can check what the state was after, because then we'll have more gold and be like, oh, we just got paid from dropping off the hops.
And if my enchantment turns into garbage, you can learn that it was a bad move,
Right.
So.
And then whatever develops over the next 3 days, would be a little bit more apparent. We don't have to be so sneaky, and we all have a little bit more gold in our pockets.
Okay.
We may have to think about some purchases, so.
I can live with that. All right, let's head back.
All right. So y'all start to head back out of the town, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all start leaving town. It is at this point in time. It is about 6:00 at night. You are still leaving town, or are you going to go to an inn and stay there before you leave?
I
We might as
mean,
well
stay on
crash
the
at an
road,
inn.
but
How far will we get? Will we still get to our destination
hours.
tomorrow, or will we get?
Yeah, you'll get a couple hours out of town. Like, it would probably be by the time you'd have to take a long rest, it's probably like 3 hours down the road. Like, it's probably about starting like 9, 10 o'clock at night. You're going to want to take a long rest. And then it would take the entirety of the next day to get to Craghammer. So you'd be walking in probably about like 9 o'clock at night.
I like those odds.
yeah. I
either
prefer
way,
to do
it's
that,
one
I
watch,
guess.
right? So
And we're all healed up and everything.
That's what's going to be
I mean,
road
yeah.
or inn, warm bed or inn.
well, we saved money by not going to the end.
Yep.
I mean,
Alright,
I
on the
do
road.
enjoy a good drink, but I can forego tonight. So
All right, on the road then.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that there's any way that we can't sleep on the road overnight.
Right.
By that
So
logic.
let's just do
We
it.
go to the inn. Yeah.
We're taking the road. We're taking the road.
On the road again.
hitting road or
All
late.
right.
Never thought I'd be on the road again.
Some beef jerky for the road.
All right. So y'all hit the road
A Mountain Dew.
and begin to see the sun set along the horizon, and begin to think maybe it's about time to bed down, but keep going a little bit further, and finally it gets dark enough where your lanterns are really not. You don't really want to be walking along on your horses, or riding along on your horses that much longer. They need a rest too, so you set up a campfire and a place to rest for the night. So what are the watches?
I'll do
One of us
first.
can do first watch by himself or second watch by himself.
Steve will do second watch by himself. He hasn't done a watch by himself in a while.
Can't be
I just
two
would prefer
watches.
to do a watch by himself.
Ross doing a watch by himself, then Steve doing a watch by himself. The third watch is who?
I think Cornelius said he was going,
I'll go with
Sure.
Cornelius.
Perception
and
being
Lloyd gets to
high-
sleep the whole night away. But bam.
There you go.
Who has the highest perception in the group?
Don't have a staff anyway.
He don't have
point.
you can't do anything anyway,
True,
so it's probably
true.
better off.
I can smack some fools.
All right. So first watch is Baratus. And Baratus, I would like you to do a perception check for me.
This will be good.
Yes, it
Yeah,
will.
you're right.
All right.
That'll do.
What the hell? Why did you just roll in?
Outside of a couple of errant wolf howls.
What did Valandor just do?
I now have
I just saw
6
D6
charges.
Why did he roll?
Ah.
D6?
Yep, the wand
Like you just
charges.
My wand charges.
Oh, cool.
Outside of a couple errant wolf howls, not much happens for the night for you. So you're up for a couple hours, and then you need to go to sleep. And it is now Steve's turn.
Yeah.
Steve, please roll a perception check for me.
Oh, we don't even know what it is. Oh, there we go.
16.
go.
Everything turns out to be pretty darn quiet for you as well. You see some fireflies light up in the night sky, which are pretty mesmerizing from time to time. But you hear
During
nothing
Steve's
but crickets and
watch,
frogs.
He takes one of his crossbow bolts and using his blessing of the forge, using his, damn it, where the fuck is it? Yeah. Not blessing of the forge, whatever, the forge channel divinity, forge shit. I'm gonna make a call it a size, like a simple size like weapon for Lloyd, who doesn't have doesn't have a weapon.
I feel like this forging thing is like way too easy. You're gonna make me a scythe out of a what?
A tiny sickle, a
Like a little stabby stab.
little stabby stab. Yes, like a tiny.
You made me a shiv, Brian.
He gave you a shiv. Yes. I'm trying to see what that actually is. Channel Divinity Artisan's Blessing. Is that what you're going with?
Yeah. So I
Crafts a non-magical item that must include some metal. Yep, martial weapon. There it is. All right. So you create a little circular shiv.
Well, it's more like a, I was thinking more like a tiny hand, like a to cut wheat down, like
Yeah,
a hand.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, yeah.
There you go. There you go.
He just sets it next to Lloyd, and while he sleeps with his little pillow stuck underneath him, he's like, "There you go, buddy." So you're not completely.
When I wake up, who carved me a cock ring? What is this?
All right. That's the second watch. And now the third watch is Cornelius by yourself?
No, I'm with him.
Valandor.
Oh, you and Valandor? All right. So, you guys roll perception checks. Cornelius, you are looking in your spell book, studying things. You're looking at the newer spells that you have. Valandor, you are intently tuning your ukulele. Trying to get, just making sure it's not too not flat, not sharp, just right. And you suddenly hear a bloop, bloop, bloop.
Why is Lloyd rolling? He's asleep.
You hear that, Valandor?
I do. Do you hear it too?
Yeah, sounds like water.
It does.
And as you hear these and are discussing this oddity, a voice rings out amongst the surrounding trees and bushes that you are resting in, and it says, "By decree of Lord and Lady Cloistraga, we are commandeering the book of one Cornelius Thaydark."
Oh shit!
And that's where we'll end tonight's session.
What?
What the fuck?
There we go.
What did you do?
Cornelius, what?
Well, I guess being such a greedy little bastard has its consequences. I don't know.
Oh shit.
Question is, do we back his ass? Do we back his ass?
Interesting. It was
We didn't notice.
Lord and Lady
You certainly don't. You're
Castrata?
Cloistraga, Cloistraga.
Because I was going to
One more
say,
time.
if it was
One more
Estrada,
time.
What was that?
I was going to say if it was Estrada, I was like, is this chips?
Cloistraga, Cloistraga.
Are those two words? Cloistraga?
All one word.
What? That's weird.
That's your only thing you're saying is that's weird? It's D&D. Come on. I mean, I was
Pretty
going to wonder if you're going to ask for
we
the...
usually get a full.
can I get a country of
first name
origin,
last
please? Country of origin?
We usually get a first of.
Can I use that?
and last name.
Citizens.
Is that a noun or
that
a
was
verb?
Shit, B-Dog.
Good session. A different type of session. Wow, those are some great rolls.
How we doing on our
I like
next
this
one?
dice color. I do like that dice color. Oh, wow.
God damn,
That's,
Broadus.
uh,
Jesus.
Rough.
That's VCU colors.
This is real rough.
Also,
my
I-
God.
Make it into the
Wow,
fucking
all right,
tournament.
what is going on
Like,
here?
I guess it's time.
No.
It's time
All
to
right,
change
I'm
this.
good.
No, that's not you. Back to you, Rodus. We can't end on
G
Six
3 3
single
4
digits in a
2
row.
3. Damn.
3,
Okay.
4.
the odds are
9,
not in
2,
your
3.
favor.
This was how many times Lloyd farted in the night? 7.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's a lot of farting.
I
This is a
mean,
lot of gas.
I wasn't awake for it, so y'all had to count for me, but I'm pretty sure that's accurate. Keeping the fire going. That's all I'm
Immediately
doing.
regret getting you a
Let's see what
weapon.
happens.
That's a good color. I like
That's
the
better.
color.
I got above
That's
10.
better.
Oh, moving a little in the right direction.
10 points better.
I like that color.
Is there a color you don't
All right,
like
gents.
at this point?
Yeah,
Sea dog.
GG's.
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 Later.
Jeez.
Game.
GG's. See ya.
Thanks, Brian.
Later, gents.
Later.